have not read it, I'm sure that when you get home and you are relaxed, you will go back and read it. Because chaplaincy is very, very germane to what Fountain of Hope is. It is the chaplaincy that is the bedrock of Fountain of Hope international evangelical activities. In view of this, we have chaplains at the chapters, at the zones, at the national, at the international. What we have done in the year just past is that the Fountain of Hope at the national and international level will do the policy formation, implementation, and monitoring. The zones and the chapter are the ones that will actually present these programs. Our focus for the last year was Christ in me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So what we have done is that every activity that we do in the chaplaincy is geared towards giving the people the understanding of getting that strength from Christ. We had two major programs. One was the fellowship outreach. The purpose of that fellowship outreach was to go to those that are less privileged, see firsthand what these people are going through, and with the love of God constraining you, you do something about that situation. From what you do, you now gain strength to understand that according to Matthew 25, Jesus said, I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me water. He was in prison, you came to visit him. So that is what Christians have been asked to do. So that first program, which we had in April, was to get us to get in tune. The second program we had in July was the symposium on strength from the arms of love. And this symposium, we broke it into different pieces so that different zones worked on aspects of love. There was the love of God, there was sharing love in church, home, work. There is sharing love with family, siblings, classmates, and friends. Sharing love in your business environment. Sharing love to the needy as well, less privileged. Sharing love with your talent. The purpose of this is to understand 1 Corinthians 13:13. How many of us can remember what is there? 1 Corinthians 13:13. Honestly, when we were small, they taught us from when we were small. Let me sing it for you in Yoruba. Mo gbọ́ nǹkan nínú Bíbélì o, ìfẹ́ ló tóbi jù. If you don't understand love, how can you understand God? It is that love that is the basic thing that as a Christian we must understand. So the symposium was geared towards understanding this love. Brethren, I am trying to bring out the salient points, the salient points that we have in the chaplaincy programs that we did. Please read everything while you are at home. But one important thing that I need to point out is that we have to strengthen the chaplaincy. I was discussing with a chaplain while here, and he was wondering that is chaplaincy so involved like this? Many chaplains have just the name and the position. The activity that comes from chaplaincy, they don't know. Even my brother told me that the chaplaincy that was being practiced is just pray, bless and whatever. That is all. But the trust is that we will give the policy. We will ask that everybody see what you can gain from this policy. When we had the fellowship outreach, I was blessed by Zone 4 because we asked that they should do that outreach at the zonal level. But what happened was that every chapter had this fellowship. The effect of that was that if you look into one of my tables that I have presented, the overview of 2024 fellowship outreach to less privileged, and you read that of Zone 4, you see various institutions were visited. This is what our evangelism is all about. Evangelism is not for us to just be sitting down at meetings in our churches, but we must go out and implement many of these things. So what we are focused on is for us. What we focused on was for us to gain strength from our activities and from our knowledge of the love of God. Let me tell you, the Bible says that they that know their God, they shall be strong, and they will do exploits. That is what one of our focuses on last year. And the Bible also says that out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, God has ordained strength. Also, a prayerless Christian is a powerless Christian. So every month we continue to have 3 days of prayer and fasting. I believe that from this conference, everyone will be a part of that prayer conference, and every zone will ensure that there is a zonal platform that all chapter chaplains are part of it, so that we build up capacity. And when we build up capacity in the chaplaincy, everyone in that chapter will be blessed. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate the chaplain and his deputy. Brothers and sisters, we've listened to all the reports read. We now want to go to the discussion on all the reports. Discussion on all the reports.
Brothers and sisters, only 3 discussants, so to say, we would like to take on the reports read. And let me particularize the reports. CC report, general, and chaplaincy reports. When you raise up your hand, just pick one of the reports and make comment. We want to take only 3 submissions. Yes, please.
Can we signify by raising up our hands? Discussion on reports.
Identify the report. Your name.
My chairman, should we give them numbers so that? Okay. Hello. I thought you were raising up your hand. 1, 2. Any other person? Any other person? Discussion on all the reports. Okay.
Fountain, Mr. Chairman, sir, please permit me to make an observation about the report presented by the chairman FOHI.
Identify yourself, please.
Sorry, my name is Sunday Orowale, 25NG, Zone 5.
Very good. Thank you.
Please permit, Mr. Chairman, sir, to make an observation about the report of the chairman, FOHI. There's one important aspect that has to do with ratification of an action. He moved a motion that the action he took be ratified. So I want to draw our attention to that so that the chairman calls for a motion, or because he has moved the motion, let somebody second the motion, and then it will not be adopted as ratified. Thank you, sir.
Any other contributor? We will take it. Another one, okay, go ahead.
Session Chairman, sir, permits me to start on every established and existing protocols. My name is Fagbamila Adejola Olua from Zone 5, Chapter 25 NG. My contribution is on the ZCC report as delivered by the Deputy Chairperson. And it has to do with so many things he read about, but unfortunately didn't get to grassroots as expected. And in all thanks to her, she was able to observe leadership gap. My contribution here is this. Having observed this all-important factor in our society, from this conference 2024, I will want you to strategically put up a system that will allow information and activities of this great society to get to chapters. Thank you very much.
Any other contributor? No, the CCC chairman will give you a reply on that, but let me first of all address the first observation regarding the hint, Mr. Chairman, expecting a motion. It is an executive motion and it's slated for comprehensive and detailed report discussion tomorrow. So it will be formally tabled, moved, seconded, adopted, and so on and so forth. Wait till tomorrow. Thank you. Then the CCC chairman, please.
Thank you very much, sir, for your observation. We truly appreciate you. And one of the ways in which we are trying to bridge the information gap, we have a couple of ways, and one of it is that we've created a platform that has the chapter presidents, vice presidents, and the secretaries of each chapter in that platform, so that information, key information and major information discussed at the executive meetings can be passed down. And so please, when you get back, if your president is not already on that platform and the secretary and the vice, please let the secretary know so that they would put that in. The other thing we have been doing and encouraging is that we see the gap in the knowledge of our Constitution. People quote the Constitution and say things that are not true. But if you don't have the Constitution and if you are not educated in it, you will believe what is being said. And so the chairman has asked that at every meeting there will be like a 5-minute discussion on the Constitution and the documents that we have. And the last but not the least way to bridge this information gap is that we have now virtual meetings. And so because half of the virtual meetings for the executives half of the meetings for the year are going to be virtual, there is no reason why somebody from your chapter, if not all the executives, should attend that meeting. That you are not traveling, it's from the comfort of your room. So that also would help us to bridge the information gap. I hope that, but if you do have any ideas, or if there are any ideas in the room as to how we can better bridge this gap, the chairman, I'm sure, will be able to look at it and will be able to do something. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have taken the 2 sections or submissions, begging for clarifications. And before the session is closed, we all know when you are in a meeting and say there is a motion for adjournment, there are still issues you want to try and raise and discuss. So the next minor but very important issue is presentation of award. You want to ask me what type of award? The chairman in his address, in his report, did inform us that it was a policy duly passed by our great organization that the first 10 chapters that were able to pay their chapter dues, annual dues, before by 30th of October for the Fante year will be entitled to award and recognition. In the past year, only 3 chapters made that, 4 made that list. And 3 are going to be appreciated now. It's not an extra due imposed on us, but the statutory dues that we have agreed upon. The requirement is simple: just pay it timelessly or in good time, that will be helpful to the organization. So, out of those who have been able to make it and pay as when due, then calculating the performance, that is, looking at the time it was paid, I be calling from, there are 3 chapters to be appreciated, give awards to them. We start from the 3rd chapter. The chapter is Our Saviour's Anglican Church, Jakande Estate, Okeafa, Solo, Lagos State, in FH Zone 4 NG. For being the 3rd chapter to pay our annual dues in year 2024-25. FH Financial Year. See, in line with the motion of financial drive to encourage chapters to pay their dues promptly, dated this 15th day of November 2024 at Abuja. President, FOH 67 NG, please. On behalf of Chairman Adebo Atowa, I present this to you in the certificate of appreciation, adding your responsibility, commitment, and support towards the drive and growth of Fountain of Hope Internet. Congratulations. The second chapter, we also performed creditably well, is FOH 58NG, that is of Holy Trinity Anglican Church, Ikate, Surulere, Lagos State, FOH in Zone 7, for being the second chapter to pay our annual dues in year 2024-25, FOHI financial year, in line with the motion of financial drive to encourage chapters to pay their dues promptly, dated this 15th day of November 2024 at Abuja. President FOH 58NG, you here?
58NG, President or any member of the chapter.
If not here, any of the members can come forward to take on behalf of the chapter. Or the zonal chairman. Okay, very good, very good, very good. On behalf of the chairman, Fountain of Hope International, send this certificate of appreciation for coming second in the special drive push our organization forward financially. Congratulations. Well, the star prize goes to Cathedral Church of Emmanuel, Okesha, Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State, in FHI Zone 8, being the first chapter to pay annual dues in year 2024-25, FHI financial year, in line with the motion of financial drive to encourage chapters to pay their dues promptly, dated this 15th day of November 2024 at Abuja. Chapter from Cathedral Church of Emmanuel, Okesha, Ado-Ekiti. Please come forward to take your prize, both the certificate of appreciation and the golden call. Where's your president? Jordan. Where is the zonal chairman? Oh, very good. Very good, very good. Not here? Yes. Donate. But the chapter is not here. Yes. Why? Okay. That's right. Mr. Zona Chairman, on behalf of our chairman, FHI, Atowa, his first prize, shown by this golden cup in the first chapter to perform timelessly, paying for your annual dues, that is from your zone, and particularly FOH 78NG. As a certificate to add, Thank you very much. Dear brothers and sisters, let us try and make this a standing policy within ourselves, between ourselves, to support our organization. When you look at the provision of the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, it says, money answered all things. God will answer all our problems in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Let us contribute. Let us pay timelessly, financially, cheerfully, even if painfully. Pay. Because all things come from God. And we are giving back infinitesimal fraction back to God. So God will help all of us to be able to pay as when due. Thank you and God bless. I want to formally bring this session to a close. Thank you for your patience, for your attention, for bearing with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, my chairman. Please, we'd like to invite the conference communique committee to please position themselves as mentioned in their letter and nomination to be able to start the work that given to them. So we'd like these members to please meet at the gallery. Brother Soji Alabi is chairman of the communique committee. Brother Shegun Ogundele is the secretary of the committee. And other members are Sister Tosin Adebowale, Brother Boye Adewoyin, Brother Gbenga Eleyowo, Brother Adeola Fadoju, Brother Rotimi Omirefa, and Brother Femi Oshiyale. Please meet at the gallery upstairs. The chairman would like to have a word with you as you commence your work in earnest. Brothers and sisters, we go straight to the paper presentation. I would like to move fast on this. And the director of organization will please bring the guest speaker to the high table. Before then, brothers and sisters, I want us to please join me to appreciate one distinguished personality who God has used to bless us, and he's been supportive of the mission of Fountain of Hope International. With his grace, since Wednesday, he's been checking on us in this conference. He has graciously given us the permission to use this church as the conference center. He's no other person than Venerable Ambassador Dr. Tiwatokwe Elias Fatile, FDC, the Vicar of St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Maitama. The Reverend, to be our pleasure to... We may not be opportune to hear from you on Sunday, so maybe we can just give the conference a good wish. It's strange to see a venerable in Agbada, Abi. Thank you so much, my venerable.
Well, thank you very much. See me in Agbada because I have to go to work. I'm not. I'm a career diplomat, and so please permit me. I have to go to work and then be in this outfit. The chairman, the vice chairman, secretary, and high table, and indeed all of you, it's a delight on behalf of St. Matthew's to welcome you to this place. And I want to start by telling you that your representatives in this church are doing wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. That's him there with the vice chairman and all officials. I'm highly impressed. I know they will tell you how we pushed them to wake up, and they have been reacting to the push. The enemy was put to shame, and some of you may have heard that his wife was kidnapped with his daughter Wednesday before the event they had, the rededication of the local chapter here. But God is a God of wonders. That morning, you will hear from him himself. When I went to visit, I want to say this because some people must be encouraged. When you serve God, serve with the whole of your heart. The morning I went to visit with some members of the church, and out of concern, the vice chairman was saying, the Fountain of Hope program we're having on Sunday, that was Sunday 3rd, that we should put it off because how can you say that you are doing a program like that and the wife of the chairman is the president has been kidnapped, and God manifested his power. When I heard that, I said, no, that program must hold. I decree and I declare by the injunction of heaven that they will be released immediately. And he's here, and God heard that declaration and our prayers, and they were released without payment of ransom. I'm sure that if not for God that has done it, you cannot be gathering here today if, God forbid, something worse had happened to the wife of the president of the local chapter. So we must thank God for what God has done before your arrival to make this a reality. Having said that, let me thank the chairman of, is it Abuja region? Zonal chairman. It's wonderful. Please let me clap for him. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I am touched by the commitment and dedication. Calls every time, messages here and there to make sure that there's no gap, that this place is available. So I appreciate you, sir. And then let me now, some of you may not be aware of this, but let me say this. Brother Atunwa is a friend over the years, 40 years as a friend. We attended the same university, graduated the same university, graduated the same year. In the university, we are very good friends, best friends of friends. And not just that. When I was posted to serve in France, he visited my family in France. When I was posted to serve in New York, he was there, he visited my family in New York. So it's not just a friend, you can imagine what I'm saying. By the grace of God, my career, my work as diplomat has taken me through different countries. Israel, France, Trinidad and Tobago, Permanent Mission of Nigeria to the United Nations in New York, and the Embassy of Nigeria in Japan. That's the only place that Brother Atiwa did not come. COVID period, yes, we got COVID. We are working towards it, but we couldn't make it. And so it's I'm on a familiar terrain. And I want to greet you all and appreciate you. We have been able to try our best to put this place. Where is brother Mr. Aro? Mr. Aro is also another wonderful person. I don't know where he is seated. Oh, thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir. So we have tried with the help of God, our local president here, to try all we can to put this place in order for you. I hope you are comfortable. Just tell me now if you are not comfortable. So let me not take much of your time just to greet you and welcome you to St. Matthew's Maitama. as the vicar and on behalf of my bishop and primate. The primate too is aware, he has given approval for the necessary things for Bishop Akamiso to come and deliver the sermon on Sunday. And Bishop Davis just called me a few minutes ago to remind me about tomorrow. He said 10 a.m. So let me not talk too much, because diplomats who can talk and talk and talk and talk. So once again, you are welcome. Appreciate you all. God bless you and return you back home safely in Jesus' name. Yes.
The next session is going to be chaired by no other person. Past chairman 2013 to 2015, Bra Bosun Falore. Let's appreciate him. Panting. Thank God the guest speaker is around. He's a complete gentleman. Studied medicine and surgery at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos between 1998 and 2005. He holds a fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, Faculty of Psychiatry, and a master's degree in gerontology from the University of Southampton, United Kingdom, and is currently studying for a master's degree in public policy at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja. He works as a consultant psychiatrist. He is keen about physical exercise and believes in the saying, what is good for you, for your eyes, is good for your brain. In his spare time, he enjoys reading and playing squash. He is married to Victoria, and the marriage is blessed with 2 wonderful children. Brothers and sisters, I introduce to you Dr. Olusegun Soyombo. Let's appreciate him.
The President and the I table. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I had to interrupt the profile. I don't usually like it when I'm somewhere and they are talking and then I don't recognize who they are talking about. But that's it, they were talking about me. I thank you for inviting me to talk about mental health, stress management, occupational burnout, and midlife crisis. And we don't have a lot of time. There are 3 topics in one, and that is why I didn't think we should spend our time reading a profile. I had sent my lecture earlier, and I thought maybe the media would project it, although it's a write-up that you can read on your own, and that's all I'm going to do. I'll read the write-up and I'll speak to certain things about it. One former Director General of the WHO, the World Health Organization, famously said that there can be no true physical health without mental health. And that statement kind of captures the definition of health, because the WHO itself includes mental health in the definition of physical health. So imagine you ask a primary school student and say, what is 1 plus 1? The straight answer is 2, isn't it? So if that student first tells you that 1 plus 1 is not 4, there must be a reason. So in the definition of health, usually we first decide what it is not. So we say that health is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So the fact that somebody wears fine clothes and is moving up and down and is looking good is not the reason why we say he is healthy. Rather, health is a state of complete physical, 1, mental, 2, and social well-being. Oftentimes we talk about physical health, we talk about mental health, we don't pay attention to that social part of it. But in this lecture, we will. Because even belonging to a society like this is part of your social health. You will agree with me that we are increasingly isolated. I don't know about you. I sometimes feel very lonely. All my friends are jackpot. I live in Abuja. I was born, bred, garried in Lagos. And I used to boast that I will never have a meeting in Lagos and sleep in a hotel. But we have reached there where I will go to Lagos and sleep in a hotel. All the people I should stay in their houses are in Canada. Their house is too far. What is mental health? Mental health itself is like health. It is not merely the absence of a mental illness. And what is mental illness? So you will see a lot of questions that I'll be asking. I'll be first saying what it is not. Because if we say what is mental illness, I will also tell you that mental illness is not merely running naked on the street. I can see that there are daddies and mommies here. Maybe some of you remember that old movie called Morenike Alagolo. How many people watch Morenike Alagolo? That's the typical depiction of mental illness in our movies. Somebody walking on the street, wearing nonsense, tying Bonvita can, and then dancing, and then people are singing. No, that is not what. That represents just about 1% of patients with mental illnesses. Mental health actually is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life. Are we in agreement that as long as we are alive, we will face stress? Abi? There's a Yoruba proverb that says, if you live long enough, you will see small shaggy. Abi? Those who died before 2019 did not see COVID. Abi? Some people in their grave will not have believed that Naira will become 1,900 to 1,600 to a dollar. So if you live long enough, you will face stress. However, your mental health means that you can cope with these normal stresses of life. Your mental health also means you can work productively and fruitfully. And your mental health also means you can make positive contribution to your community. Like Fountain of Hope is a community. As a member of this society, you are making positive contributions to society. That means that mental illness can prevent a person from achieving any of these things that we have talked about. Mental illnesses are quite common. They are commoner than you think. Abi? All of us don't have it in our families. Isn't it true? We don't have mental illness in our... Do you have it in your family? No, I don't have it in my family too. But we are in church. We all have it too. Don't deceive yourself. It occurs in 1 out of every 4 persons. And when we say it is common and it is in all of our families, it doesn't mean that there's somebody running naked or running into the market in our families. But there might be somebody with an anxiety problem. There might be somebody with a sleep problem. There might be somebody with a eating disorder. There are many types of mental illnesses, so they are quite common. Mental illnesses also take significant toll on the social, emotional, and socio-economic well-being of not just the individual, but also people around him. And I will explain all of these things as we go on, but I don't want to take a lot of... The burden of mental illnesses is on the rise due to pervasive stress and uncertainty, lack of trust and conflicts, disease outbreaks, climate change, domestic abuse, drug abuse, and so on. It is therefore my pleasure and delight that the organizers of the 36th Annual Conference of the Fountain of Hope International consider this issue so germane as to make it a topic of discussion in this gathering. We will delve into these 3 topics in one. First topic, stress management. Second topic, occupational burnout. And the third one that I will talk about, midlife crisis. It is my prayer that this lecture will be of benefit to all of us. Stress management. Stress is the feeling of physical and emotional tension. How many of us have never been stressed in our life? Stress response is the reaction of the body to tough circumstances. But the things that stress people are different. What will stress you is different from what will stress me. And we also respond differently. But let us first admit that stress can be good. Do we agree that stress can be good? Some people don't agree. There is normal stress. The stress, the vicar just said he was in the same university, someone here, and they graduated together. It is possible that when they entered 100 level, like you, when you entered 100 level, everything they were teaching you, you did not understand. But the day they posted the exam timetable, bah! The things that you did not understand, you started to understand. That is good stress. Abi? Because it helps you perform. This is church, so let us use another place as an example. If you go to a very beautiful gathering like this, and they hire very beautiful girls as ushers, and as you are coming in, they say, "This way, sir. This way, ma." As you are sitting in the hall, if you hear a very loud blast, "Boah!" Is it the usher that will tell you this way out? No. It is what we call the fight and flight response. Your instinct for survival will immediately show you the way out, and that is good stress. Good stress when you were far younger, our mommies, and you were crushing on a brother. When it comes around you, your heart will be doing jiki, jiki, jiki. You will be feeling somehow. That is good stress. However, bad stress makes us vulnerable to illness, both physical and psychological. It impairs our day-to-day functioning. So if somebody is in that hall and hears "boa" and cannot stand up and run, that is bad stress. Because that stress makes that person vulnerable to that disastrous situation. Some sources of stress include bullying, work overload, loss of a person's job, marital problems, relationship problems, bereavement. I have seen some of the registration attendance registers, and I've seen the kind of ages of people here. As we live longer, we are faced more and more with bereavement. That is life. For every day you sleep and wake up, you have outlived somebody. Sometimes you have outlived somebody close to you, your own friend, sibling, spouse, and all that. Those are sources of stress. Difficulty with school or work, family problems, relocation is stressful. Some people are relocating in their advanced ages to very cold weather. Some people that are used to nobody passing beside them and not greeting them are relocating to countries where people don't greet people. They now see a young person, the person passes, will not greet. They look at him, So that is a source of stress. There will be question and answer, don't worry. Other stressors in these challenging times, political leanings. They just finished American elections. Some people are having a headache in Nigeria. I don't know how it connects to each other. Subsidy removal, Naira problem, inflation, banditry, kidnapping. We have just heard of a kidnapping incident here. These are sources of stress. But let us look at the characteristics of a stressful event. Number one characteristic of a stressful event, lack of controllability. The more uncontrollable an event is, the more likely it is to be perceived as stressful. Are you the one that controls the value of Naira to dollar conversion? So it will be perceived as stressful. If you sent your child to school in Canada at 1,600 naira to a dollar, and now it is 1,600 naira to a dollar, will you not have stress? You will have stress because you are not controlling that one. Predictability. The degree to which we know if and when an event will occur reduces the severity of stress. How many people are in band A? So there are plenty band A people here. So assuming you can predict the electricity, band A is not a problem. You put your freezer off when you are going out, Abi? Freezer, fridge, everything, you put it off. And then when you come back, you put it on. Your food will not spoil. But if you put it off, and it is when you come back that they decide to take light, you know you are in trouble. So that one, you cannot predict it. So it is perceived as what? Stressful. Another characteristic of a stressful circumstance is it is a major change in life circumstance. A major change. Now note this, it can be a positive change, it can be a negative change. I had a patient, he was living abroad, jejely, hustling. One day he was watching TV, like this gentleman here. He saw his secondary school classmate, chief of defense staff, small time the man relocated to Nigeria, and his classmate was happy to see him as a military chief, and they started doing things together. If somebody is passing here, and if two people are passing, and I salute, have I not saluted the two people together, even if one is a civilian? And when they open door for this one, the other one will follow, and then his friend died. So the place they saluted and opened door yesterday, today they say, who are you looking for? Abi? So that was a major change in the person's life circumstance. Major changes, loss of job, loss of a spouse, loss of a child. These are major changes and they are quite severe. But like I said, it can be positive. When federal government sold NEPA, when they privatized NEPA, they paid severance package to the staff. I was in Kaduna, one very junior staff was paid 8 million. So he came to the hospital, his hands were in front of him. He said we should put handcuff that he has stolen government money. And it was a severance package. So you can see that that was a positive change, but it was a stressful event. So if you are praying for money, let it be the kind of money you can handle. Another characteristic of stressful events, internal conflict. These ones occur due to conscious or unconscious unresolved issues. So when a person has to choose something that is incompatible with his values, how many of us have been faced with those situations? So they want you to offer small bribe, but you are not supposed to offer bribe. But the goal will not go if you don't offer bribe. That is a stressful situation. So before we discuss how to cope with stress, just in the pattern we have been following, let us discuss how not to cope with stress. This is sometimes because in a bid to deal with stress, some persons resort to unhealthy strategies, such as use of alcohol, use of drugs. If you don't have money, or you have a problem with your spouse, or you have a problem with your boss, and you are very unhappy, you know, they have told us many lies in the past. They say you can drink away your sorrow. It is a lie from the pit of, you cannot drink away your sorrow. When you wake up, you will be more broke. The sorrow would have multiplied and will be waiting for you. Smoking, whether it is, you know, cannabis used to be, I'm a small boy in this gathering, so cannabis used to be something that Agberos used to smoke in Lagos. Now they have whitewashed it, they have packaged it as something that people should do. But people smoke it, and you are trying to solve one problem, you create another problem. Some people, when they are in a very bad mood, they take solace in food. They begin to eat a lot to solve their mood problems. By the time that primary problem is solved, maybe they have become overweight or diabetic or hypertensive, so they've created another problem. trying to do it all alone. Some people, because they don't want things to go wrong, they take on too much responsibility. We want to do Fountain of Hope International. We have transport committee, accommodation committee, registration committee, communique, all of this. One person is now doing, his chairman is doing the work of everybody. He may break down and not be able to participate in the event. Okay? Expectations that so they create unrealistic expectations that make them feel that they need to keep their problems hidden. Now, this can happen to some people in certain spheres of life. They feel like people must not know that they have certain kinds of problem. So hiding your problem is not a way to deal with the problem. So some of these things that we've talked about are not the ways we should cope with stressful situations. How then do we cope with stressful situations? General principles of stress management. Number one, we must consciously keep a positive attitude. Let's remind ourselves that not every event is under our control. If you solve that problem within your mind, you have solved a big problem. Did they ask for your permission before they remove fuel subsidy? Or they usually send you email before they take your light in your house? No, these events are not under your control. They are not under my control. Number two, exercising regularly has proven anti-stress benefits. Many of us don't exercise enough. Daddies and mommies, especially as we are growing older, exercise must be a part of our day. In addition, we should eat healthy, get adequate sleep. When I talk about sleep, I always say, especially for our men, if they don't watch Channels News at 10, they cannot sleep. And I say, you see, if you are so important that you should know everything that is going on, it is not in the news that you will see it. The people who should know have known before 10 o'clock. If you are watching it at 10 o'clock, it's because you don't need to know. You can as well wait till morning before you will know. Okay? So let us sleep early. Let us catch our 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night. You cannot overemphasize the importance of sleep. Okay? Practice relaxation techniques. We should also make time for hobbies. Let us develop new hobbies. It can be walking, it can be playing games, it can be meeting with people to drink tea, not beer. When you talk about alcohol, I know that there will be a question about alcohol during this session. Let us answer the question now. Why do men die early? Women go for omugo. They abandon the man. You'll be buying kose, you'll be buying akara and pap on the road for 3 months, 4 months, until his wife will come back. And when his wife is coming back, where she went for omugo, they will give her wrapper, wristwatch, they will give her good things. What will they send to the man? Ogogoro, whiskey, schnapps, to aid his journey. So another way to cope with stress is to set limits on our exposure to stressful events. Now remember that we have said that not everything is under our control, but there are certain things that are under our control. Your exposure to other people in terms of your time, your money, your physical space. Especially if you live in Lagos and Abuja, the tendency is for people to just knock on your door. Ko. I came for a visa interview. They did not tell you before. 1 week, they are still around. People call you at all times. As the month is coming to an end, your phone is ringing endlessly. I say I should greet you. I say I should greet you. I say I should greet you. And you know in your mind that you will pay for that greeting. So you have to set a limit. You may have to have a budget. That I sent you something last month. I'm not giving you anything this month. And if you want to behave like federal government, anytime somebody asks you for money and you feel like you give the person, tell the person you have heard, you have approved, subject to cash backing. Thank you. Problem-focused coping. There are certain stress situations that we will face that requires focused solution. You look at the problem, you analyze it, and you look for a specific solution to that problem. These are not everyday things. These ones occur once in a while. And then emotion-focused coping. What is emotion-focused coping? The problem has happened. The only power you have is to decide how you respond to the problem. You cannot take the problem away. You cannot. There's a patient I've been seeing in the last few weeks, a Muslim woman, and strangely she has been coming to the hospital with her husband. What is the problem? The man is marrying a second wife after 20 years. And she's very, very bitter about it. So she's been coming to the hospital. And every time she comes, I will tell her, I don't have the power to tell your husband not to marry a second wife. Because that's the solution to our problem. But it is not within my power. I can't write it in prescription. Husband, don't marry second wife. And the husband comes with her to the hospital. He too knows that that is the solution to the problem. But he has already told somebody he's going to marry that one. Shebi, if he solve this woman problem by not marrying that one, shebi that one too will come to hospital. So what's the solution to the problem? So the only thing the woman can do now is to decide how she will respond emotionally to that problem. So sometimes we are faced with problems that all you can do is to choose your own emotional response. Behavioral techniques, there are behavioral techniques that help us control how we respond to situations. Sometimes the stressful situation is that somebody has made you angry, and then you lose your cool, you lose your temper, and you are out of control. But I always say to people, there is nobody that cannot control his temper. You only choose not to. When the person on the opposite side is the person that you have power over, you choose not to control your temper. When they were giving award, they were calling Lagos people. You know how Lagos people behave in traffic? Energy, they fight. But if somebody drives nonsense, and as you come down, you want to go and quarrel with him, you see 3-star. You have come down from your car with the way you normally, yesterday you came down, taxi driver, you slap him. Bah. But this one, as you came down to go and slap again, you saw 3-star. Will you slap? You will control your anger. What that means is that inherently, all of us can control our temper. We only choose not to control it when the person there is somebody we feel like we have power over. I've talked about exercise already, so I won't talk about it again. Topic number 2, occupational burnout. For those of us who are still in the workforce, I know that there are people here in the retirement age, but those who are still in the workforce, in our various occupations and professions, we make a difference in people's lives every day by solving problems. The only reason why you have a job is because you are solving a problem. You are solving a problem of education, you are a teacher. You are solving a problem of health, you are a doctor. You are solving a problem of administration and keeping the country going, you are in the civil service. Security, you are in security force. The only reason why you have a job is because you are solving a problem. But that difference that you make is only possible because you are healthy. They have just buried Chief of Army Staff. Abi? He was making a difference. When the health got in the way, there was no way he could do that function again. Many of you are older than me, but at least me, since I started watching TV, I've never heard of acting Chief of Army Staff. It became imperative to have an acting Chief of Army Staff because the incumbent suddenly had a health challenge. So you can only make that difference if you are healthy, functional, and engaged. And there's this saying, caring for others is noble. Caring for yourself is required. The only way you can care for others is that you are first cared for yourself, including your children and family. You can care for them at the detriment of yourself. It's just that you will not be there to care for them long enough. So if you are going to be there long enough, you must care for yourself. Burnout is defined as psychological exhaustion, diminished efficiency, resulting from overwork or prolonged exposure to work stress. It is a syndrome of emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, reduced personal accomplishment that occurs among individuals who work with people in some capacity. Plenty grammar here, let's just talk about it. The point here with burnout is that the work that you go to, when you got that job, you share testimony, we say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, you were excited about it. But when burnout sets in, as Monday, you go home on Friday, as Monday is approaching, you're already anxious. You're already scared because you no longer enjoy the job. Okay? What happens? What started out as an important, meaningful, and challenging work becomes unpleasant, unfulfilling. It becomes meaningless. Energy turns into exhaustion. Involvement turns into cynicism. What does it mean to be cynical? Those are the people that say, welcome, JJC. You want to change this office can never change. It can never be good. In this office, it can. Somebody has risen to the position of director, PAMSEC, he's driving official car, he has built house, he has sent his children abroad, but he's saying that this, and he did all of that by virtue of the work he did here, but he will be telling the people coming out that this place, it can never change, it can never be better than this. Cynicism has set in, burnout has set in. Efficiency turns into ineffectiveness. Causes of occupational burnout include excessive workload, lack of support. If you keep working and you feel like you don't have the backing of management, of colleagues, of subordinates, work-life imbalance. Work and life, there must be a balance. For our older people, in fact, more importantly for the younger ones, you will work for 30 years, 35 years, and retire to a life of loneliness. You abandon family for work. You abandon friends for work. In retirement, you will leave the work. There will be no family. There will be no friends. They will be there physically, but they will not be there emotionally, isn't it? So there has to be a balance. Having little say or control over workplace matters, lack of recognition for one's efforts, interpersonality, toxic work environment, unfair work environment. These factors contribute to occupational burnout and can be summarized into three: the workplace, the worker, and the workplace-worker relationship. Our approach to its prevention should focus on the three factors. So all the things you should do to prevent work-life imbalance, to prevent burnout, are the same things we've talked about in stress management. We've talked about exercise, we've talked about sleep, and other things that you should do. Those are the things that you do to prevent burnout. Our last discussion for today is midlife crisis, and I rushed through the first two so that we can slow down a bit here because it is important. Let us read from Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come. If I say the difficult days will come now, it will look as if I am shaking. But see the Bible, it says before the difficult days come. It means that we should actually expect that difficult days will come. And the years draw near when you say, I have no pleasure in them. The crux of the matter, remember now your Creator in the days of your youth. The midlife refers to a period between the ages of 45 and 65. Some places they say 40 to 60, 45 to 60. It is a period between youth and old age. It is a pivotal period in a person's life where people balance growth and decline, where they take stock of their achievement. By the time somebody is in the 40s, that's when you begin to hear of midlife crisis, because that's when people take stock of their achievements or lack of achievement. Because that's the point you can say, oh, look at where my mates are. Look at where I am, because the person is taking stock. That is the point in which people are faced with a decline in health. When I was younger, I used to wonder why my father would stand up and the first thing he would do is to hold his waist. Abi, am I not holding my own now? So that's where people are faced with a decline in health, among other challenges. However, the midlife is not a period marked by crisis alone. Are we together? For example, it is the age where people rise to the peak of their careers. This is also the age where you become chief of army staff, Abi, director, PAMSEC, vice chancellor, and other things, okay? So this is an age of accomplishment. This is the age where you see your children grow up. The children you had in your 20s and 30s. Maybe when you people first joined Fountain of Hope, you used to invite each other to 10-year birthday, Abi? 5-year birthday. Now you're inviting to wedding, Abi? Because you have watched the children grow up. The midlife crisis is not a mental health diagnosis. It is a psychological reaction to a stage of life. The midlife is a stage of life, just as some persons will be faced with end-of-life crisis. So congratulations to you. When you survive midlife, you will graduate into end of life. When you are 90 years old, 99 years old, and you're asking yourself, what am I still doing here? Why is there so much apprehension about the midlife? One of the reasons might be the social construct of aging, where we all tend to dread the idea that we are growing into decline. That's why our mommies don't want to be called mommies. Mama, nobody wants to be called mama, everybody wants to be called Sisi, Abi? Another reason would be the stock taking that tends to happen around the midlife, where one may feel not only unaccomplished, but out of time to make up for lost opportunities. If somebody feels unaccomplished at 55, he's not sad because he's unaccomplished at 55. He's more sad because what exactly can he do? If somebody doesn't have a degree at 55, he'll be asking himself, is it now that I'll go and write WAEC and JAMB? But there is no time that is too late to start for anything. If one is fortunate enough to have lived up to the midlife years, one is also likely to be unfortunate to have faced several forms of adversity over the years, like we said before. Reading again from Ecclesiastes, my heart took delight in all my labor, and this was the reward for all my toil. Yet, when I surveyed all that my hands had done and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. Ecclesiastes 2:10-11. However, adversity, especially those we overcome, should be an instrument for our advancement. The stock taking of midlife can give us the impetus for a fresh start, a time to make positive changes. Below are some helpful tips. Number 1, take care of yourself. 2, reconnect with family and friends. You don't know where opportunities will come from. Afe Babalola started the idea of a university at the age of 80 years old, the age where most of us will feel that it is not necessary to start anything new. That was when he started the university. He's still alive. Learn something new. Be intentional about having a happy marriage. Let me beg our men. If your marriage is not a good one, you will suffer in old age. It is not a prophecy of doom. I see it all the time. If you are going to enjoy that old age, you need to be in a happy marriage. Those children will grow up and they will leave the house. The person that will be around you will be your wife. In our society, oftentimes, the man is older, and usually his health declines before the health of the woman. If you have treated someone shabbily for 40 years, God help you. If you are sick and at the mercy of that person, be intentional about having a happy marriage. Find new ways to stay active. Find a new healthy habit. Spend time outdoors. Go for walks. Just enjoy nature. Give time to something you are passionate about. We are Christians. What should a Christian do? As believers, we have even greater tools to wade through the difficulties the midlife can bring. What are the tools available to us as Christians? 1, we are to accept that every stage of life is part of God's plan for us. We were not created to be young forever. Abi, from the day you were born, you have started growing old. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair is the splendor of the old. So we were not born to be young forever. Proverbs 20:29. Number 2, we should imitate Paul's forward-looking perspective, forgetting what is behind. When Paul says forget what is behind, you too should forget what is behind. When you could walk from Abule Egba to Oshodi, forget what is behind. When you could run after bus and catch it, forget what is behind. When you were chasing small girls, forget what is behind. There is no energy again. You buy Viagra, you can die. Forget what is behind and strain forward towards what is ahead. Paul said, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which the God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. All of us then who are mature should take such views. Number 3, by God's grace, persevere in trial. I have said it. It is likely that if we live long enough, trials will come. So we must persevere in trial. Bible says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. James 1:2-4. Conclusion. Donald Ritchie said, midlife crisis begins sometimes in your 40s. Abi? When you look at your life and you think, is this all? And then it ends about 10 years later, when you're about 55, 60, and you look at your life again and think, actually, I've lived a pretty good life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for being an exceptional doctor and for telling us how it is like. I want to hand over to the session chairman for further activities on the talk that has just been given. Thank you, sir.
Let me once again appreciate our presenter, our dear brother, Egusho Yombo. I sincerely believe that all of us have gained as we are going home back home with our upliftment. So we are going back with mental upliftment. And the single mental upliftment is that stress is neither, you can't say neither it is good or bad. As we have the positive and we have the negative. But good news is that we have ways to minimize stress and maintain good health. And one of which is we should prioritize self-care and practice stress relief techniques, deep breathing exercises, set realistic goals for ourselves. And as well, we should try and set boundaries. Let's stay organized. When we do this, that we should minimize our stress. One good and very news that everybody should try and practice, that some positive impact on others, that is to care for our health, to care for our mental health. Just too sure there could be members who want to ask one or two questions. Because of limited time, we are going to limit the number of questions or comments to 3. So can we indicate whether we want to ask question? Number 1.
2,
Number 1, number 2,
3.
and the third one. Can you ask number 1, please?
Agwamila Adejolalua, again is my name, from Zone 5, 25 NG chapter. First and foremost, I want to commend our speaker, the doctor, for that eloquent delivery. And it occurred to me that whatever profession you are practicing, I think when God is involved in that profession, such professionals are always exceptional. I really appreciate that. Secondly, sir, I'm a doctor, honoris causa, but I just want to chip in a solution to managing stress, and that is to be an FOH member wherever you are and whatever your chapter. Because in FOH, we are organized, we are serious, we are bold people. I remember at exactly 3 o'clock when the I-table wanted to be overstressing us badly. Members took the courage positively. So we sent the positive stress to them, and thank God they cooperated with us. Sir, my question. You've said a lot about stress emotionally and all that. By my look from the camera, you can tell I'm a very young man. And I believe we have only adults here. I can only see babies, so they may not understand. In this midlife, when a man more active sexually, I hope I have permission to ask in that direction. Okay. Now, you will see that this is the age young people leave the home for somewhere that cannot be described, all in the name of making up. And to buttress this ungodly act, recently, I suppose from a colleague of yours, I can share the video with you, that biologically and scientifically, a man is expected to have sex 21 days in a month. And that God has been so kind, that God has just been so kind that there is nothing that can stop a man, hence the monthly cycle for women, and that should be the only time of break. However, because perhaps job, other engagement for women can be stressful, that it is recommending officially for men to have side chicks. And I want you to look in. This is church, but you will agree with us that one of the stresses we suffer is because we hide so many things. We don't know, we are afraid to ask, we are ashamed to ask questions. So, sir, I need you to clarify the veracity of such claim, and how can a man who is very active in his midlife cope without having 21 days regular? Thank you very much.
You are the architect of your own fortune or misfortune.
Number 2.
M.H. Chenaike is my name. Martin of Hope, 61 NG. Zone 2. In actual fact, mine is not actually a question, an observation. I think many of us listen to you attentively. I can remember I've had similar lecture somewhere in the past, and I begin to wonder that this doctor does he know what he's actually saying? Some of us here are probably above 40, 50, and some of us are, when they were serving us, they said the elderly should go and eat somewhere. And with this lecture you have given us, I just hope and pray that you have not added to our stress. I'm 69. I'm 69 years old, and when I listen to all these things you have mentioned, will I now say that I'm on overtime? Because those things you mentioned, those elements of stress you mentioned, I don't think there's anybody who will say some of these things do not affect him or her. So I want to submit that I'm confused. I'm basically, but everything belongs to God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Otufadebo Femi is my name, 39 NG. Doctor, please, can stress be self-induced? If we can, how? And how can we avoid it? Second question is mental illness. What is the diversity of hereditary in mental illness? Thank you.
Thank you all very much. The questions, comments, observations show that I wasn't talking just to myself. Dr. Fagbamila, honoris causa, those are the real doctors. We are the fake doctors. The doctors that read book, they are different from us, so we defer to you. And I'm happy to see you, to know that I'm not the only young man here, because every time I looked around, it looked as if I was only talking to daddies and we babies are not here, but we will grow up too. So thank you for recommending Fountain of Hope membership. Everybody here already, maybe except myself and a few others. So we'll take your recommendation. 21 days per month. I don't know, I've heard it, I've seen it. I don't know where they did the research. We don't know the rigors that they subjected the research to, and you are a research person. So we cannot just take what they have said, hook, line, and sinker, but let us examine it. If a couple can have sex 21 days in a month, it has to be that they have a very fantastic relationship, one, or one person is forcing the other. If one person is forcing the other, it is not good. If they have a very good relationship and they can have sex, because 21 days a month, technically you are talking about every day, 6 days a week, maybe apart from Sunday. So the question is, should we do it on Sunday or should we not do it on Sunday? If the man has so much energy and the woman cannot keep up with his energy, should he then go and invest the remaining energy in a side chick? We must ask, if the woman has so much energy and the man cannot keep up with the energy, should the woman also invest the energy outside? But this is a Christian society. Overall, we want to make heaven, Abi? Yes. So we know that side chick is not part of what we will do. So people will do what works for them within their own relationships. But I think that if there is no age mismatch, if the relationship is fantastic, they may not achieve 21, but they can very well achieve close to it. Or who says they can't achieve 21? As you grow older, sometimes they will bring it. You yourself, you will say you don't want to. Again, I will tell you, people remember stories. Many of the things I say you will not remember, but you will remember stories. Whether it's side chick or a second wife, 2 quick stories. A patient recently, just a few days ago, 64-year-old man, Muslim, second wife. Second wife, far younger. Daddy can no longer do. Second wife has gone and left daddy with 3 young children, all under the eldest of them is 7 years old at 64. Senior wife, when daddy brought junior wife, senior wife, federal civil servant, went and engineer transfer away. Daddy is now sick. Senior wife is not available to take care of daddy. Junior wife has run away. Some of daddy's older children are married. I remember the day we discharged him not because he was well. We discharged him because midterm was over and the children would have to go to school. So side chick has implication, it has side problem. And the side problem can be big. Second story, I already told you part 1 of the story. The woman that is coming with her husband and the man is about to take a second wife. What are the woman's concerns? The man is already 50. The second wife is about to marry is 20. So the woman is scared that, number 1, if this man is not able to satisfy this woman, will she not go outside and then go and bring disease into the family? Or if this man is no longer able to satisfy this woman, will you not go and start using performance enhancers and one day will suddenly die? These are valid concerns. If he manages for the woman to have 1 or 2 children and dies, those children become the responsibility of the children of the first wife. So side chick, side problem. Broshonaike, if I got the name right. I'm sorry, sir, if I have confused you. But I congratulate you, sir. You have already graduated from midlife crisis. That I mentioned those crises and you face them, that you are here, means that you have surmounted those crises. So we should clap for you. Because you have overcome those problems. So we congratulate you, sir. And lastly, Bro Otufadebo, can stress be self-induced? Yes, the answer is yes. Sometimes by our own actions, we are the one that draw stress to ourselves. These 2 stories I've told you, who invited the stress? The man. You decided Yanga they sleep, I be trouble they sleep, Yanga go wake up. You are the one that went to look for trouble. Another quick story, another second wife problem. They have been living in Abuja peacefully in Apo. The man went and married second wife. Second wife is living in Katampe. First one I say, how? We built this money together. I'm living in Apo. Second wife will live in Lagos. People will not understand it. Yanopaja and Lekki. You understand it now? When we were growing up, we built house together. We were living in Yanopaja. Now you want to marry second wife. You say, our own house will be in Lekki. And you say, I should agree. You can marry her, but me too, I'm moving to Lekki and you must provide the money. Okay? What is the role of heredity in mental illness, and that is a good place to end our conversation. When we say that mental illnesses have hereditary component, we say it very responsibly, because we know that when your children want to marry, you say you want to go and investigate the family they are marrying into, and we know that all you are looking for is mental illness. Things cannot be predicted. Let us leave mental illness. Let us come to, say, hypertension. If a man has hypertension and has 4 children, hypertension can be hereditary. Does it mean all 4 children will have hypertension? No. It's in fact possible that none of them will have it. It is also possible that all 4 of them will have it. If they are careless, eat anyhow, drink anyhow, don't exercise, they are overweight, they smoke, all the risk factors. So it is an interplay between hereditary factors and social and physical, environmental factors. So sometimes there is nothing you can do about it. If it runs in the gene, and when you say it is not in your family, it may be there and you don't know it. Because these illnesses sometimes skip generations, and even when they don't skip generations, people don't announce them. You will just know that there's somebody in the family. I will just hear that there's this person. He will not come for a wedding. He will not come for this. It's just far away somewhere. But they won't come and tell you that this is the problem he has. You do not know. I mean, companies will come to us and say we should come and do mental assessments that they want to employ people. Very nice. We collect money for it. But excuse me, if I tell you somebody is mentally well today, does it mean you'll be mentally well tomorrow? But you have paid me already now. You can employ the person. But if I say he's not well today, does it also mean that he cannot be treated and be functional tomorrow? So there is a hereditary component in mental illnesses, but it is something that we have to be very careful about. It is not invariable that a person will pass it. Now that we have mentioned that, let me also say very quickly that there are illnesses that are peculiar to women when they get pregnant and have children. And one of the major things we face is that if a woman has a child and has postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, you now see the mother-in-law hovering around to say, don't let her breastfeed the baby. Don't let her breastfeed the baby. Mental illness cannot be transferred through breast milk. So long as there is supervision, the woman can breastfeed a baby. The only thing we are concerned about is harm to the baby because of the mother's mental state. And that's why those illnesses should not be taken. I thank you very much. It's been nice being in your midst.
Chairman, Session Chairman, Deputy Chairman, our guest lecturer, Dr. Shoyomo. To confirm that psychiatry, amongst the consideration hovering over medicine, is the most important aspect of medicine. Functional, like when you are looking into internal medicine, you are taking up a scalpel, there's a fracture, there is that, and so on. But the nature of psychiatry, premise on psychology, in-depth psychology, to read the patient, you have to consider so many things, behavior, with personality, and so on and so forth. For you to be able to come up with this analysis today, say thank you very much. The classical manifestation of brilliance, I commend you. Because, I carry files for Professor T.A. Lambo, Professor Tolane Wasuni, if I qualified as psychiatrist. After that, I went for. So we have also handled so many cases at a very, very close range. And we discovered that failure of adaptation strains and stresses of modern life actually activate the either psychosis or neurosis. For you to have been able to articulate all this, in fact, I'm impressed. And maybe that is why it remains a dry area of mercy. Many people don't want to go into that area. Want to go into ONG, into surgery. Please keep up the good job. Because having regard to the prevailing economic circumstances, we need psychiatrists amongst us to talk to us, to sort of bring down the temperature. Counseling by a psychiatrist will bring down the blood pressure, no doubt about it, provided we avail them of the causative or the things that what I said, whether we are hiding this, whether it is psychic or from, come open. Ordinary psychotherapy will do the trick. I thank you. On behalf of our chairman, Adebo Atwa, the session chairman, Brother Osufalo, God will continually bless you, move higher and higher in the practice of psychiatry. Thank you. God bless you.
This last note, I want to get up. Before I declare the session closed, I realized that somewhere along the line, probably for reasons best known to him, the doctor refused to mention the fact that it's available for professional consultancy in case we have any issue that makes us feel overwhelmed. We should not be ashamed to consult any therapist or counselor in case we find out that we need professional help. On this note, I want to declare this session closed. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters.
Fontaine should be preparing for the quiz competition now. While the contestants from the zones are getting ready, we'll quickly just use 15 minutes to take a brief activity while the chaplaincy are getting themselves ready. In the course of the year, we took a bold step with your support to have a directory. It will interest you, one of the things that pushed us to do this was a call from a top Fountain of Hope member for a particular professional. Oh, my chairman, we are doing such a thing. Do you have any Fountain of Hope member who is in particular field? I was blank. I called 2 zonal chairmen, and the response was not favorable. I went to the directory of year 2000. 2 members that I identify in that profession, they were late. I asked myself, how many of our members are in this position? And we started the project that we are going to have an FOHI directory. We sent formats after the approval at the national meeting. The response was neither here nor there. We gave a deadline of May, extended to June, extended to July, extended to even August, and so on and so forth. Some chapter believe that they don't even want their name to be published. But instead of being discouraged, we forge ahead. I remember very well, my deputy BOT chairman will remember, during the tenure of Brother Tunde Adeyemo, we attempted to do similar thing. The printer that we gave the directory ended up not producing anything in Ado Ekiti, and the manuscript was returned to us 2 years after. Distinguished brothers and sisters, to the glory of God, we are presenting to you the new membership directory produced 24 years after the last directory was produced. So we want to appeal that let this be a 2 years event so that we won't stay too long before we produce. We have new members joining, we have some members exiting. So when you say this, I think it will also encourage those who did not submit their directory. The chapters will be challenged to participate in the subsequent edition. Shortly before we take the quiz competition, we published, if we have to print, if you have to sell it at cost of production, I am sure that you will say again, Brother Tuwatu ti de pẹ̀lú owó nìkan ló mọ̀. It's not my fault. But I crave your indulgence. Maybe we can invite some few people to help us launch it today. So with this, we can now reduce the cost of production and be able to sell it at affordable price. Secretary, do you have the list of those who want to support us in the donation? Okay. He said the past working group members to please assist us to launch it. No amount is too small, but no amount should be less than no limit. I would like to invite the chairman, deputy chairman BOT, Brother Ayodele, to formally launch this directory.
Thank you, my chairman. Distinguished brothers and sisters, briefly, it is a directory, a brochure, source of information, quick one for that matter. Let us all always remember, without a recall of the past, you cannot remember the present or make a careful assessment of the present. And if you can't make a careful assessment of the present, you won't be able to project into the immediate future for planning purposes and progress. On that note, this directory remains highly veritable and useful for all of us, right from first chapter of Fountain of Hope to the latest one. You can know the member, their number, their directory, name it. Just go to the page of that chapter. And as the chairman has said, if you should say the cover price is 7,500, it may scare us. It may scare us. I will personally support of the chairman and the secret delegates here present. I will launch it with 20,000 only.
Thank you so much, sir. In past chairman, Brother Bosunfalori, while Brother Kole Olatuji should also get ready. Please, charity begin at home. All the working group committee members, I'm coming to you again. Thank you.
Panting. We were taught when we were very young not to do more than the elderly, and we should give elderly respect. As much as I wouldn't want my father in his grave to look at me as somebody who failed to eat to his training. And with due respect to our deputy BOT chairman, I should not be seen to do more than what he has done. But that notwithstanding, I will want to launch one copy for 200,000.
Thank you so much, sir. Brother Kole Olatuji, chairman 2019.
Fountain, let me first of all appreciate the doggedness and the zeal the current chairman has put into the production of this membership directory. Clear reflection that this current administration under Brother Debo Atua are forward-looking, are trying to ensure that they strengthen the foundation of the society. Because the word of God says, when the foundation is faulty, there's very little or nothing the righteous can do. And of course, with the information at our disposal, I'm very convinced that all the things we need to know about ourselves is here. And part of what you should always have at the back of our mind is that whenever we come together annually to the conference, it should also be seen as a very, very major source of revenue generation for Fountain of Hope International. And on that note, I can't compete with my bosses that are here, but I'll launch the directory with a sum of 100,000 naira.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Working group member, please get set. I want to see all of you on seats. Charity begins at home. I would like to also gracefully respect our past chairmen who have served, past zonal chairmen who have served dutifully. Brother Tunde Ajayi. Secretary, can you help me take a copy to Brother Tunde Ajayi? And then let him make a pledge. Another person should please take a copy to Brother Emeka Oko. Brother Emeka Oko. Thank you so much. Another person, take a copy to Brother Shembalin. Brother Shembalin Ehiri, the incoming Deputy Chairman, Zone 7. We'd like to acknowledge the launch by Brother Tunde Ajayi with 100,000. Somebody should please help me take to Sister Eniola Nakins. Sister Eniola is the past president, FOA, to United States of America. She's sitting by the left-hand side. Thank you so much. I think you have to buy some copies for people in US as well. Sister Kayode Awokwetu. Sister Kayode Awokwetu, please, I don't want to waste your time. She has signaled me. A copy should be sent to her. Brother Femi Otufadebo, Secretary, Capital Projects and Fundraising Committee. I know you are still going to donate tomorrow at the gala night. So just do certain small percentage. Brother Adiagbo Olukunle. Brother Adiagbo Olukunle. Brother Dotun Odusanya. Brother Dotun Odusanya, the president. Abi? Thank you so much. Brother Shegun Ogundele, you know it's good to be good. They wrote this list for me. I'm just reading it. Yours faithfully. So you must have been good. That's why they recognize him. Brother Soji Alabi. Chairman mi wà níbi tó ń ti kọ communique. Ẹ tún fẹ́ kán tún dáwó ni. Brother Soji Alabi. Thank you so much. So please get this pledge form. So on the working group platform, I will set the ball rolling by myself so that you won't say I'm tasking people without tasking myself. And I would like to launch 2 copies for 100,000 naira. So the deputy chairman, please let me. Working group, you can help me. Don't let me talk too much but before you start rolling out your check. Chaplaincy, please get set. We start the quiz competition by 6 o'clock. Quiz competition at 6 o'clock. So we have 5 minutes left for this. Deputy Chairman, to launch a copy of the directory. I've taken the 2 I launched, so thank you.
Praise the Lord. We thank God my chairman has also launched on my behalf.
Secretary should get set.
So I will launch with 50,000 naira.
Deputy 50,000, thank you so much. Secretary General, even though you are working, so you are launching as well, charity begins at home. We must set the pace. Thank you.
I will launch the booklet with a sum of 50,000 naira.
Thank you so much. Secretary, 50,000. Financial Secretary and Treasurer, I hope you are taking note. Brother Olaiton Owolabi, Zonal Chairman, Zone 1. Zonal Chairman, Zone 1. Brother Adedayo Shobanjo, Zonal Chairman, Zone 2. Brother Temitokpe Owolabi, Temitokpe, down C, 10,000. Brother Owolabi, 5,000. Thank you so much. It costs us more than that too, because maybe the BOT chairman has spoken. Sister Nikki Ayebusi, Brother Timothy Muyebi, Zone 4. Zone 4. Brother Jide Jayoba, Brother Clement Egona. I have just 2 more minutes for this. Brother Tayo Shenaike, the outgoing zonal chairman, Zone 7. Thank you so much. Brother Shenaike, 20,000. Brother Shembalin, 20,000. Thank you so much. Brother Muibi, 10,000. Take now. Come and give them the copy once they launch. Brother Clement Egona, Zone 6. Zone 6. Brother Jide Jayoba, Zone 5, CPC chairman. The reigning handsome chairman. Brother Babajide Jayoba. Brother Wande Oloro, Zone 8. Oh, thank God, we've seen you today. Thank you. Brother Oluwole Adekoya, Chaplain. I shall take question quiz competition, so do something. Brother Egona, 5,000. Brother Idowu Akiwande. Hello, the King Kosibe, 10,000. 5,000. Thank you so much. Brother Alufemi Ojofajuru. FHI, you see your working group member are working, or they don't want the price to be so high. Fadoju Oluwole Adeola, legal advisor. Kehinde Samola Riwaju. Brother Moyosore Adesanya. Sister Ifeyin Wanwanko. Brother Juwon Okpayemi. Brother Lucius Ashiru. Sister Juwon Okpayemi, 10,000 naira. Thank you so much. Sister Bola Adedeji. Brother Kayode Oshinuga. Brother Ezekiah Okonkwo. Brother Dare Adedeji. We collect dollar from him. Thank you so much. Chaplaincy, get set. I've told you we are starting the quiz competition by 5. Distinguished brothers and sisters, thank you so much for your support. So, after consulting with the financial team and in view of the fundraising that we've been able to reduce the cost of production, copies will be available at the secretariat desk at 3,500 naira per copy. Grab your copy now as I hand over the microphone to the chaplaincy. Fountain. Thank you so much.
Good evening, brethren. We are about to commence the Bible quiz competition. I want to request all participants from the zones to please come forward so that we'll arrange you quickly and we'll do the quiz. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone. 2, 4 on one seat. No, 2 together, 2 together. Participants for the Bible quiz, please come forward. Zone 1. Zone 2, Sister Busayo Oluwole, Brother Oluwatosin Farombi. Zone 2. Zone 3. Brother Peter George, Brother Peter Osulano. Please have your seat. Zone 4, Brother Olumide Ojo, Brother Paul Akpoveme. Please have your seat. Zone 5, Sister Loveline Eze, Brother Chimeze Igbo. Zone 5. Is he here? Zone 6, Brother Gbenga Ajayi, Brother Famakin Oluwole. Please come forward. Zone 7. Zone 7, Sister Sarah Ayodele Green, Sister Pauline Chukwukwe, Zone 8, Sister Abimbola Sarah, Brother Johnson Adeola, let me call in again. Zone 1, no show. Zone 2, Sister Busayo Oluwole, Brother Oluwatosin Farombi. Zone 3, Brother Peter George, Brother Peter Osulano, Brother Taiwo Osulano. Zone 4, Brother Olumide Ojo. Zone 4, Brother Olumide Ojo, Brother Paul Akpoveme. Zone 5, Sister Loveline Eze, Brother Chimeze Igbo. Okay. Zone 6, Brother Gbenga Ajayi, Brother Famakin Olawole is not here. So it's only Brother Gbenga Ajayi that is Zone 7, Sister Sarah Ayodele Green, Sister Pauline Chukwukere. Okay. Zone 8, Sister Abimbola Sarah, Sister Johnson Adeola, Brother Johnson Adeola. Okay. And I have the participants. Now for the officials. The quiz master is Brother Oluwole Adekoya. We have some quiz advisors. Sister Ifeanyiwa, please have your seat. Also, Sister Famakiwa, please come forward. Timekeeper, we have Brother Simbo Bakari. Now, our quiz recorder. Well, we need somebody that can do the work for us. Our quiz recorder. Where are they? Is Zona Chaplain? Okay, this is the man. I want. Oh no, Zone 1 Chaplain. Ah, she's not around. Zone 2 Chaplain. Come. Not Zone 2 Chaplain. No, Zone 2, yes. Board. There's a board at the back there. Please, can you come with it? There's a board. While the recorder is getting ready, I would like to read to you the rules of the Bible quiz. Please, I want the participants to listen carefully. Fountain of Hope International Rules Guiding Bible Quiz Competition. The competition is open to two-man team constituted from registered members of each of the 8 zonal organizations of Fountain of Hope International. 2, there will be 5 questions per round of the quiz and 1 round only, unless there is a tie. Each round will feature 5 questions, delving deeper into biblical knowledge and understanding. Scoring. Participants will earn 5 points for each correct answer, allowing for a more comprehensive assessment of their biblical expertise. Ranking. After the first round, which is the only round, we will carefully evaluate the scores and proudly present awards for the outstanding performance of our participants. Prizes. Prizes will be granted for the first, second, and third positions. Tiebreaker. To ensure fairness, in the event of a tie for any of the top 3 positions, we will host a captivating tiebreaker round. It is an opportunity for participants to showcase their biblical knowledge under pressure and vie for the coveted top positions. The competition. The book of John, chapters 1 to 21, New King James Version of the Bible is what we will be using. Your officials, we have the quiz master, the timekeeper, the recorder, and 2 advisors. As a competition, the quiz master has the final decision on assessment of the participating teams. I also want to let you know that you will take 3 objective questions and 2 theoretical questions. That is what will make the 5 rounds that will be. You ready? Thank you, move close. Okay. Timekeeper, are you ready? For the 5 questions, 1 round. For the first 3 questions, it is objective, and you have just 30 seconds. For the objective, you have just 30 seconds, and you can only take 1 answer. For the theory, you have 1 minute, and you can consult amongst yourself. Please put off your phones. We are watching, and we don't like anybody to consult any phone. Monitor their phone. Okay, the recorder, are you ready? We have the mic already with zone 2. Recorder, there are 8 zones. Zone 1, it's only zone 1 that is not participating. Zone 1 is not participating. We have 7. We have 7. Okay? Are we set? Are we set? We have 1 to 55 questions for the objective. And we have 1 to 200 for the theory. So you pick 1. I want to start from zone 2. Pick a question from 1 to 55.
Question 3.
Question 3. Who was the father of Andrew and Simon? A. Zebedee. B. Alphaeus. C. John. D. Jonah.
Jonah.
Correct. Zone 3. 5.
Question 7.
5. Question 7. What city was Philip, Andrew, and Peter from? A. Bethany. B. Galilee. C. Sychar. D. Bethsaida.
Bethsaida.
Correct. Zone 4.
Number 4.
Just a minute. I want to mark the ones that have been taken. All right, what number?
Number 4.
Number 4. What does Cephas mean? A. Sifting. B. Pillar. C. Stone. D. Beloved by God.
Stone.
Correct. Zone 5.
6.
Number
6.
6. Where did Jesus find Philip? A. In Bethsaida. B. In Galilee. C. in Jerusalem. D, in Nazareth.
Galilee.
The bell had gone.
Bethsaida.
Well, you got Galilee, but the bell had already gone.
Praise the Lord. We are setting the time to is 30 seconds. So after the question and the objective have been read, then the timing starts counting.
Okay. After consulting with my advisors, you are giving. In Galilee.
They mentioned 2 options.
Sorry? Did you said 2 places? Okay. No point. No point. Zone.
Question 8.
Zone 6. Question 6 already taken.
Question 8.
Question 8. Who did the Jews send from Jerusalem to John, asking who he was? A, Pharisees. B, priests and Levites. C, Sadducees. D, tax collectors.
Sadducees.
Priests and Levites. You are wrong. Zone 7.
Question number 1.
Question number 1. Why did John come baptizing with water? A, to reveal Jesus to Israel. B, to teach the people a lesson. C, as an example of self-denial. D, all of the above.
To reveal